play, and thank you so much for coming to us to talk about the Adamson collection
My pleasure.
at the Adult Psychiatry event. I'm just wondering whether you can tell us a little bit as to the history of how the object got to us.
So as I covered in my talk a bit, all the objects were created in the Adamson studios at Netton Hospital between 1946 and 1981. About 500,000 of them were in existence when he retired. About 6,000 of those were taken to one of his patient sister's estates. She had a spare barn and building. It was then kept there for from 1981 to 1997. But after Edward died, Miriam Rossler was worried about her successors might not keep the collection. So then Alice Jackson, who's an art therapist at SLAM, saved the collection and brought it here to Lambeth Hospital, where it was kept for many years. The tourism was deteriorating in Lambeth Hospital. It is not proper conditions to store valuable objects, so delicate objects. So the last 2 years I've been in discussion with the Wellcome Library, and the Wellcome Library has taken most of the paintings and drawings to their vaults. The future is being decided as we speak. It's likely that a lot of it is going to stay at the Wellcome. Some may go to a museum in Switzerland called the Collection d'Arbreau, which is a sort of shrine of outside art. SLAM will be left with the sculptures, about 500 small sculptures, there's some here on the desk, 500 small sculptures. Another third of the collection is the work of a painter called Rolanda Palanca. We've got 2 examples of her paintings here. We've got about 2,500 of her drawings and several major sculptures. So her work is, the Wellcome won't take it's 3-dimensional. So that's in discussion with her family what we're going to do, but one hope is it may go to the Museum of the Mind, the new Museum of the Mind of the Bethlehem Hospital, which is replacing the Bethlehem Museum and should be opening in the next 2 years.
Okay.
We're going to have a strong connection with the Museum of the Mind. We're collaborating with them already, and the intention is that work is led to them once they get going often. So the collection will become part of the Museum of the Mind's activities.
Okay, so we should look forward to visiting it in the future. And I'm wondering, because you've been working with the Adamson collection for so long, what have you learned from your work with the Adamson collection?
A lot. I mean, we're in the late 80s. I had 4 years Jungian analysis with an art therapist, a guy called Michael Edwards, who turns out I knew and realised much later, he turned out to be a great friend of Edward Adamson's, and we was collaborating with him at Within Me was the first art therapy community in the UK, opened in 1942 by Irene Champenow. So strangely, things I was doing in the late 80s have suddenly connected with now. I mean, I've been a trustee for many years. It's only the last 3 or 4 years I realised that somebody has to take control of this collection, otherwise it's going to get lost. I think I've not a real... Edward's main message was you should not interpret art, only the creator can interpret it, and it's the act of creating makes people better, and I've learnt that I really agree with that view. The more I get involved in outside art, the more I become outside art's favourite psychiatrist of the summer, the more I realise he's right. The work should just stand on its own, with the story of the person. And I guess that's one of the things that's just recently beginning to think about this kind of work, is that mainstream art, often the author who created seems to be dead, not relevant, in the way that the object should stand on its own, in a kind of postmodernist framework, the death of the author. But somehow outside art, this kind of art, the biography of the creator is actually quite central. For example, we've got 5 drawings on toilet paper we lent to Paris. They're given to Edward by the creator, who was from Lock Ward in 1946 in Netton Hospital. In a way, you need the story of the man in the Lock Ward to understand why the toilet paper drawings done with toilet paper and matchsticks are so important. But I certainly learned to value the act of pen, the gesture of creating to make you better. It's also opened my eyes to things that aren't mainstream art. It's opened my eyes to the whole, this different kind of art, outside art group, whatever you want to call it. It's really opened my eyes to this. So those are 2 great gifts it's given me.
Great, that sounds excellent. And I just wondered, for trainees' perspective, because you obviously learn a lot from it and you've got a lot out of it, what will we learn by knowing more about the Adamson collection as to what we can learn from it?
I think the fact that creating art might make people better is quite a long way from a biomedical model of if we give it another $1 trillion we can find a fault in the brain. I think there's a human aspect to somebody getting somebody better through art, and I think that's really valuable for trainees to see outside maybe the obvious things. I think this particular kind of art very much came out of the asylums, and when I've been teaching, often the asylum history has been almost forgotten. And where I think the collection also enables you to look at asylum history and try to understand what the institutions are like and what they did to people.
Mm.
And I think his theoretical position is really useful to give people the idea that you might just be able to accept something without diagnosing it or interpreting it. I think that's a bit. I think they're invaluable. I think trainees on the whole got really excited to see this body of work, this body of art, the story behind it, and the way it's an art collection. It's also a history collection. It's also a psychiatric collection. So there's lots to learn.
Yes, it sounds like it's. I think a lot of trainees would like to have a look at the artwork. Is there any way they can get involved for the future?
At the moment, the collection's in limbo, so it's mainly at the Wellcome Library, deep under the Euston Road in the vaults, the stacks. But we are having the opportunity to see work in next February, March next year. So we're having Adamson Festival, which is involving an exhibition at the Bethlehem Gallery, and from February the 12th for 3 weeks. Also, hopefully another exhibition of photographs of works that used to be shown at Lambeth Hospital, which are a gift from the Wellcome Library to SLAM. Hopefully it'll be shown in the new Long Gallery at Wolsey Hospital. One of the artists who worked with Adamson was William Kurelek. SLAM, we tend to know his picture of the maze, the skull on the side with the rats running around. The Adamson collection has 3 of his paintings, and we're hoping to bring the Betham's paintings and our painting together at the Betham Museum. So we're going to have a Kurelek exhibition at the Betham exploring Kurelek's London paintings, so psychiatric paintings, and we'll see the relationship with Adamson. And hopefully on the 13th of February we're going to be premiering the Kurelek movie The Maze at the Orchard Centre, alongside the movie that's just being made about the Adamson collection by Ed Adamson and Pierre Bourg. So with Adamson Festival next February, March, so people can hopefully join in that, and hopefully things will come out of that.
Okay, so it sounds like this is like maybe a step further in the future as to where it will go.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.